And we're back with part 2 of Rogue Actions with our boy Cubs fan Han, who has disappeared and told everyone to bugger off for a week. I need some time away. Just get away from you flogs. He's back now after a week's break on a camp, if I'm correct, Cubs.
A girls' camp. I was at a camp for my church, and I was the DJ for this camp of a bunch of teenage girls. And I have to confess, it was a blast. They even braided my hair straight up, and I'll let them do it.
Mate, I don't know how you seriously live to tell the tale. I'm not going to lie. I have a few
Dude,
girls,
it was amazing.
daughters, and dude,
They're so fun.
Honestly, I don't know how you did it, but kudos to you, my friend. Unbelievable stuff. Guys, if you're brand new to this channel, smash that red button. Super important to help us grow this awesome channel. Give us some likes as well. Give us some thumbs up. That helps a lot as well. Of course, you'll catch us on Twitch live. Descriptions are below for the Discord service for myself and Cubs. Get in there. Come and join us from live stuff. It's a hell of a lot of fun. It really is. Let's get down to it, Cubs. We got some cool topics today. First video descriptions below as well for our boy Cubs. Go and check that out afterwards. But we do have some cool topics and a topic that not many people talk about. And I thought it's something that maybe we can cover. This is something that,
Sure.
I've been involved in pretty heavily over the last few years now. Territory wars. We're in the middle of a territory war window right now. And I thought this is a good time to have a chat about territory wars and planning and preparation and what some of the larger top end guilds do that might help you guys in the mid to lower tier ranges prepare for territory wars. I thought that this could be a cool little topic, Cubs. So are you ready to go, my friend? Because I've got some cool little things I want to throw at you.
In the words of my hero, Sheev.
Do it.
Love it. Okay, so the first thing I want to cover is preparation. Now, that is like anything in this game, really, really important. Now, there's some great tools and resources out there. There's a lot of Discord servers dedicated just to territory wars, planning and strategy, counters as well. So if there's something you're not sure about going up against a team, for instance, there are servers out there that actually have a lot of counters loaded for you to go and get access to. But probably one of the best tools for this game in general, not just for territory wars, and it's something I use on a daily basis, is Hotbot. Now, if you are serious about this game, it's $5 a month. Honestly, we spend more on crystals and all that sort of stuff. A lot of us love you guys free to play. Just saying, it's not that expensive if you love the game. It gives you a great edge. Now, a lot of guild leaders and officers use a lot of the tools in there, especially after matchmaking, just to help analyze what they're going to go up against in the next 48 hours. And I think that that's a fundamental advantage to a lot of guilds, and they use that quite a lot, Cubs.
The Hotbot gives you a tremendous wealth of information that is valuable for territory wars. When I was a guild leader and an officer, I used a bot. For a while, I was using a bot different than Hotbot that was great, but Hotbot just when I shifted over there, I was like, holy crap, this is really good. It's pulling information from the game itself, which is really, really helpful. That's going to be, I will say, definitely on the more competitive end. If you are sitting there and you want to win every territory war, this is a tool that will very much help you there. I think also it's worth noting, a tip I would have for guilds is to define what is your competitive level for territory wars with your guild. Are you a guild where the expectation is I'm going to take 50 players in every time and we're going to go all out and we're going to try to win every single territory war? Or is your approach more of a quality of life approach? I want to be, human with my members. We want to win. We want to be competitive, but we also want to be understanding of people's real life circumstances. And that's, I think, where most guilds are at nowadays. Even I've seen lots of guilds in the 300 million plus range where the expectation of the guild members is don't join if you can't attack. And this is not sandbagging. Can we talk about this? If a guild goes into a territory war with 46 members, which kind of the average I'm seeing for guilds right now is about 44 to 46 members joining territory wars for most territory wars. It's not because they're trying to manipulate anything. It's just because they have that understanding that if you can't attack, if you got something going on, don't join. But if you join, we expect you to attack, rather than having an expectation of 50 people join and then 4 people are going to be taking a break and then we lose every single time. You want to bring in people who are going to attack. This is okay. Just don't go after specific guild members and say, hey, you don't join because we want to win.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah. And look,
sandbagging.
as long as it's not strategic,
Yep.
I think that's the key. And I know that there are certainly, in the past, a lot of guilds that strategically go in low mainly at the higher GP levels, let's be clear, to give themselves, a huge advantage.
Yeah, and that
Doesn't
is a
always
problem.
necessarily give you a win. Let's be clear. There's a lot of guilds out there that knock over a lot of guilds that do act in that manner.
Yep.
It does happen. It's certainly one of those things. I think the good thing is just to be careful calling it out. And I think it's really important for the guild leader to set the expectations
Yes.
to what is required for the guild when it comes to territory wars. So there is basically 100% crystal clear understanding to the members on what you should and shouldn't do.
Could have said it better myself.
There we go. Something else that I want to ask you, Cubs, when it comes to territory wars,
Okay.
in my opinion. What do you prefer from a strategy point of view? Now, there's so many different ways that you can certainly work, you work out your guild. I guess a lot of it comes down to the matchups and your guild capability as well. But I know that there's certainly the main ways are, of course, having a really, really solid defense, mainly loaded up front, a lot of cases, to try and create that wall that makes it very difficult to break through.
Yep.
In comparison to, having all the toys to play with in attack and being super efficient. Is there a preference that you like more given the option, Cubs, if it was up to you?
So the question is an interesting question. It really depends on the type of guild that you're running. So if I was running a very top end guild in the game, then I would like a very heavy defense. That would be, I think that's absolutely the way to go. If you want to be in the ultra competitive end, you can't just rely on saving all your toys and being ultra efficient. And so, in my opinion, that's the way to go for those top-end guilds, and I think that is what they do. However, where I'm at in the game, I'm in more of a quality of life kind of guild right now. Even me, like this is my job. I don't like to be glued to this game 24/7. I want to have fun. The reward difference between winning and losing in territory wars isn't worth the effort to me. I want to have fun. I want to win when possible, but I don't want to kill myself doing it. And so I like more of an offensive approach for those reasons for my guild, for more of quality of life perspective, because it just feels better when you clear and lose than when you don't clear and lose, if that makes sense. Like if I'm going to lose, I'd rather full clear and lose than get stonewalled on the first row and have the whole guild feel like we suck, if that makes sense. And I think that approach, what I've seen with my guild is we win a lot of wars, we lose a lot of wars, and we're all okay with that.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it. I think the trick is that you don't want to be embarrassed as a guild. I think that's the trick, isn't it? You don't want to turn up and just basically not even open a front zone, given the option. Certainly, it's good to have a good balanced attack. If you go down that track of a heavy defense, don't chuck everything on, then have nothing to hit with the other side. That doesn't obviously help either. So finding that balance is always quite tricky in a lot of cases. So again, there's nothing wrong with either way to go, guys. Pick what works best for you. And again, pick what works best against the opponent you're going up against. That's the key as well. Last little tip I want to give when it comes to territory wars, guys, that of course we have 8 character zones in the map at the moment. There's obviously the 2 ships. Guys, whatever you set on defense as a plan, put all of the eggs in one basket when it comes to a lineup and a character team. And what I mean by that is that if you have, for instance, Galactic Legends, don't spray them all over the board. Put them in one zone, okay? Put them all in a line in one zone, because you then require every member on the opposing guild to attack one of those. It takes a lot longer to get through those zones instead of having multiple different teams in a zone where one person can go in and take out 2 or 3 teams at once. They will clear the board a lot quicker.
So it's kind of a similar concept as it is for Grand Arena. I like making people pay a price to know what's next, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
You want them to pay that price. If you make the front wall too easy, they don't have to spend anything significant to find out what they're facing next. Make it cost something for information. And so I completely agree with that.
I like it. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts, guys. You got anything to add to that? Do you like to play a different way? If you want, obviously, the details will be everywhere. There's a lot of YouTube videos for Hotbot, things like that. Really easy to find the information in the community if you need it. Need some help? come to Cubs on my server. Plenty of people that'll be more than willing to help you out.
Go to Heinz for territory wars, not me.
Next topic today, we need to talk about Conquest. We certainly already we discussed it slightly in your video, Cubs, how we have a back-to-back Conquest this time, which I don't see a problem with because that means we get Commander Ahsoka Tano a lot quicker.
Absolutely.
I'm happy with that. Let's be clear. However, I found this particular last Conquest a little bit more of a grind. Now, I'm curious to know your opinion as to whether you feel the same way or not. I just felt that this time, whilst I cleared it the same as last time, it certainly took me a lot longer to do that. I had to go back to a lot more, nodes to clear those to get I call them the Viagra tablets, to get the red crate. I'm just curious to know whether you think it is a bit of a grind now and what you might attribute that to if you think that's the case.
I don't feel like that. I know I respect that some people feel that way. But I also kind of feel like what do you guys want? We've been asking for replayable content. We've been asking for more to do in the game. And Conquest feels like it hits on all cylinders for that. It gives us a lot to do. I went into Conquest, not even that much time every day. I was able to manage my red crate without too much effort. And it gave me something to do every single day in the game on top of what I did otherwise that I felt like was not too much of a challenge, but still had to use my brain and think through it. And so I don't know, man. I mean, everyone's free to feel the way they do, but if this isn't, if this starts to feel grindy for you, then I don't know what isn't going to feel grindy. If you want a lot of replayable content, how do you expect that to happen now without it feeling like a grind to you if this is grindy? Is kind of where I'm at. So I'm good with Conquest the way it is. I like it.
Maybe it's just me, and I'm going to, of course, go back to, the data disk, side of things. I think I just found that the last ones previously were just a bit more fun. I think that's what I'm getting at. I'd
agree with that.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I just think that for some reason, I just seem to have a bit more fun with it. Whereas this time, whilst it's a great challenge and it's competitive and that's a great thing, I just found it a little bit more, whilst it's still more time consuming and I'm okay with that, I just didn't feel the same fun this time around than the last few. But we'll wait and see what happens on the next one. Maybe I'll feel different. That's just my opinion. So we'll have to wait and see.
I do think that this last Conquest, it felt like they lost their edge a little bit on the fun factor, mostly because of the data discs. I think that if they're going to take data discs away and bring new ones in, they need to keep things exciting. Also, they need to shake up the feats. And so just general critique of Conquest, I can get behind that. But the game mode itself, I still just, I don't know.
I still like the game mode, and the rewards are worth it. Let's be clear. I'm not saying it's boring and I don't like it. I'm just saying that it just didn't feel the same.
You're such a hater, Heinzie.
No, I'm not. Don't.
You're literally not.
I'm not a negative. You know that, bro. You know that.
No, you're like one of the most positive creators of this game. I know.
So, guys, let us know in the comments below what you think. How'd you find Conquest this time? You like it more? You didn't like it more? You liked it the same? Let us know what you think. Love to hear your comments. Really, really important.
Do it.
Now, let's get down to the viewer's choice question.
Oh, I'm ready.
The last one for today. Now, for those that don't know, I ask Cubs a question every week. There's a section in my Discord server. There's a channel called Rogue Actions Topics. Pop your questions in there. Really simple. If it's a good question, we'll ask it. If it's a bad question, we won't ask it. It's that bloody simple.
There's a lot of bad questions in there. So much. How do you think everyone feels about that?
Questions so far. Really, really awesome. Now, this is a really cool question, and it actually fits in really well after the week that you've had away as well, Cubs, which is really cool. This question comes from Yeldab.
Okay.
And so thank you so much for the question. Because Cubs is in the process of becoming a counselor therapist, if I'm correct. Sorry if I've got the terminology wrong.
Yep.
If you had to pick one of the following Star Wars couples, family clients to treat, who would it be? Couples therapy with Anakin and Padme, following the murder of Jedi Temple younglings, or family therapy between Darth Vader and Luke following events at Cloud City when Vader cut off Luke's hand.
This is my favorite viewer's choice question ever.
I thought you'd like this one.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so true story. The reason I'm gonna pick Anakin. and Padme here. True story. For one of my last papers I ever wrote for my master's degree, we were asked to come up with a scenario of a client who who expressed a danger either to himself or others, and how we would treat that client. Okay, and I literally named my client Anakin Skywalker. And I basically took all of the stuff he'd been through and modernized it into like our society, and just literally treated Anakin Skywalker in a paper. And so I've already kind of played this out on how I would treat Anakin for his feelings of anger and betrayal and abandonment, and his authority issues with Kenobi, and his secrecy with Padme, and all these things are things that you see with actual couples and actual people, just not Jedi in the real world. So yeah, that's what I'd pick, and there'd be a lot of fun things to do there.
I would actually really enjoy the Luke and Vader conversation. I would like to be a fly on the wall of that. I mean, there's some serious daddy issues there, man. Let's be honest. I think that would be really interesting to delve into that and see how that played out and try and heal that relationship.
I have a feeling Darth Vader at that moment wouldn't be open to the therapy. Maybe Luke would. So you just have to help Luke learn how to process things. But Anakin and Padme might be the one taking Anakin to therapy. This is very, very common for couples. Is one is dragging the other there, and the other one doesn't realize they have a problem.
Doesn't really want to be there.
Yeah,
like, we don't have any problems.
There's no problem, and it's like, okay.
Guys, that's a great question. Really awesome. Let us know in the comments below who you would like to treat. We'd love to hear your comments about that one. So, Cubs, big week this week. We've got our Kenobi requirements coming in a few days from this video right now. We've got a couple of Zeta bets on. Go and check them out on Cubs channel as well. We've both done our speculations on what the requirements will be. We have different ones, which is really cool. So someone's going to dump a Zeta for sure.
Only two of our predictions were the same, right?
Yeah, which is really actually quite strange when you think about it. I mean, I think that's pretty cool to get the variation, but I actually thought that we'd have a few more the same, to be honest.
Yeah, we had a lot more variation than I thought we would.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, again, smash the red button. We'll see you again, of course, next week. It's on. You're obviously streaming again, full on this week again, Cubs. Now you're back
to normal.
in town.
Back to the grind.
Beautiful stuff. Of course, guys, don't forget GAC stuffed up time frames on days again for the next few weeks, guys. So you'll see us around. Is it Wednesdays, I think, and Fridays you'll be streaming Cubs GAC? Is that right?
Oh, I don't know. We'll just be live.
That's good. Go the
notification.
Really easy. We'll see you next week, guys. Love you. We'll see you very soon. Thanks, Cubs. You're a superstar. We'll see you very soon, guys. Love you. Bye.